Oh, there he is. What's up, Hexican? How y'all feeling? This is Thothschild, and you have arrived at the Mind Spray. And it looks like we're going to call this episode 1, my friends. I was kicking around the idea of calling it Test Stream B or Test Stream D. But why fuck around any longer, right? As always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to please utilize your tongs moving forward throughout the stream, because that shit is hot fire. Hey guys, I am blessed and jazzed as usual, being in this great Hexican tribe, this Hexican nation. But first thing I think I should do before I go into any kind of the meat of the matter, just go ahead and check out our chat, see how everybody's feeling. Bran, I can see a private chat. So yes, sir. Wait, or am I in private comments? Let me see. There we go. Children of the grave, bless you, sir. Now proceed to fuck off kindly. I love you with all my heart, but please. Thank you, Finn, for the review. Children of the grave, I get it, brother. It's just that, I was so reticent and unsure. I literally never used StreamYard to be the, originator and creator. What's he say? 3 Musketeers here again. Let me just cruise through this real quick. Oh, look at this bullshit. I'm such a dumb jackass, bro. Oh, man. Figuring it out as we go along, my friends, okay? That's part of what it is. Mr. Bran. Guys, Balliet Bran, okay? He's not just a commenter. This is going to be officially our first scheduled guest on Thothschild's Mind Spray, right? And I'm very excited about that. Now, the history books, right, Michael? The history books will always bear out an asterisk, because last night was technically a test stream, right? But Finbear technically was our first guest, but that was of an extemporaneous nature. What's that among friends, right, Mike? There it is. The fists in the face exploding again. Thank you, Finn. Telling us it looks good. Children of the grave. I mean, this guy, you got to think he's got to be just a complete teddy bear and a sweetheart, because he comes off like so cutthroat. But here he is, supporting the new guy 2 nights in a row. Is Brandon there with me? He is actually probably doing, I know he loves his girlfriend, but I kind of made him snort the blow off the hookers' asses in the green room. So he's probably doing that. Respect to Brand. He's just playing along. He's totally, loyal to his lady. So I got a question, guys. Because of the glare on the old spectacles, I've been fucking around with lighting, and COTG, yes. I've been fucking around with lighting. Definitely dimmed the monitor screen, but now I feel like it's a little bit dark. However, that could just be because I dimmed my screen. I look okay to you, gentlemen? I'm assuming. Okay, let's see. Okay. got confirmation there. And we got that going on. So as this thing develops, guys, it's going to get more slick, okay? More professional looking for us. Woo. And there'll be improvements as time goes on to the old Mind Spray and the Thothschild studio, Thothschild channel, all of that. But we're going to start it out, organically, grass roots, bare bones. I do have to give thanks to all of my friends, all of my allies, all of my protectors, all the people who give me good advice. I certainly could not do this of my own volition or impetus without that. So, it's nothing but gratitude from this chair right here. So I just wanted to say a couple words. COTG says he likes the look. It's a late night stream and it's congruent with the show. Well, thank you. I think Brandon and I will probably touch on this in our conversation, which is bound to be pretty interesting for you folks. But I'm on a jacked up sleep schedule now. And this jacked up schedule, do you guys know when this started? Not too hard to guess. In the run up to the pulse chain sacrifice last year. I mean, you guys do already know I'm a father of the kids, these 4 young children. So I had gone from being the nightlife luminary during the clubbing days, right, to becoming, the guy that wakes up at trout fishing hours, the farmer fucking hours, bro, newspaper delivery guy hours. I'm waking up, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, steady. It was quite a thing to behold that I was able to morph myself. And then Hexico shows up in my life. Fucking just Koyana baby, just turns that sleep schedule inside out. And as that initial, first pulse chain coin sacrifice, as that portends and gets closer and closer, all of a sudden I go from going to bed at like 10 or 11 to going to bed at midnight. Now I'm going to bed at 12:30, 1:32, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, oh, I'm inside out now, guys. I am inside out. And the thing is that's really scary. And, those who care about me the most, who you are, they're worried about it because it used to be I needed to get that 7 or 8 hours. I couldn't function without it. And then as like the demonic possession overtook me, it's like I still make the shit happen. But I do it on like sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep, which I know isn't good. Okay, let's real quick before we bring Brandon in. Brandon, thank you again so much for showing up and being patient here real quick. I did have something I needed to say. I wanted to say this, and I wanted to actually say it before my man got on stream, because guys, here's one disclaimer you're going to get from me, and you're not going to get many disclaimers. You're not going to get many apologies from this motherfucker. But I don't want anyone to ever think that the angles, the thoughts, the analysis, the insight or opinions of Thothschild are ever going to have anything precise to do with my guests. I'll leave it up to the listener and the viewer to decide how deep, the friendship, or the status of being allies or teammates can go. I mean, that's up to y'all unless we tell you. But I don't ever want anybody to think that just because Brand, for example, is on my show, that he fully supports everything that I believe and say. I mean, I know that sounds like it's common sense, but then I also know how the real-time dynamics of fucking social media go. So if at any point you guys have anything you wish to, nail the Thothschild to the proverbial cross for don't hold other people responsible for it. Okay. My shit is mine, motherfucker. They shit is theirs. That's why before I brought Bran in, I'm going to say this to you guys. Mama said, if you ever raise your head up, okay, share your purpose, your mission, and your beliefs out with the world. If you stand for something, son, she said to me, God rest my mother's soul. She said, there's going to be a strange phenomena you might not expect. It might catch you unawares, because you're going to think at this point you're doing God's work, like you're trying to be true to what you know is true. You're trying to fulfill, in short, guys, I don't know how else to say it. It's like a mandate from heaven almost. You're seeing it. If you're rightly motivated, obviously not everybody's this way, but if you're rightly motivated, this mandate is going to have you on a path, and you're not going to sell out or cut corners or prep the roll or front for anything. Now, the reason I say this to you guys is here it is. Thothschild has now peeked his head up yay much further into the spotlight, right? What a remarkable phenomena it is that the detractors and the hypercritics have wasted no time. Now, here's the funny thing I want to tell you guys. I know who they are, and it isn't an organic occurrence. It's literally like 5 fucking guys, okay, who are butthurt. And one of the most tragic parts about it, other than the spineless practice that they employ of starting these phantom bot accounts where they'll come into the community and say something really vicious and fucking nasty, but nobody recognizes the fucking profile, but they'll speak with this great authority. Guys, these shit talkers, man, take them with a grain of salt. Punk pussy motherfucker. If anybody has anything to say to me, let's do that face to face. And I would actually like to do it with maybe a camera rolling. You know what I mean? We don't have to bring our lawyers. We don't have to bring our fucking, I'll only fight up to a certain weight class or skill, and then I'm committing suicide. So if I think I'm beyond that, I'll bring my big men, my killers, the guys that finish the shit when they don't want my hands to get dirty, and we'll handle it like men. But don't be out here like a punk pussy motherfucker sniping from the bleachers. Okay? I got skin in the game. I got sweat equity. I got blood equity. I have tears equity. And I have financial equity. So I just wanted to say that real quick because, those of you who are my friends and allies, who, by the way, are 99.9% of the Hexican community. I do fucking so cherish and love you guys, man. Get at me. Feel free to DM me. Let's talk. Let's get to know one another. All right. I'll just move on from that, but I just needed to spit that with the quickness and just tell you something like physical paralysis. Open your chest like a chalice. What? Okay. Finbear, time to get in that garden now. That is true. I was out there today. Oh, Finn, you and I have a lot of talking to do, young man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my friend, my brother, my debate partner, my confidant. Popularly, we'll refer to him as the only motherfucking 20-something who I will ever take any advice from. Guys, man, say what up to Mr. BALLIET BRAN.
Yo, what's up, Thothschild?
It's okay. What's up, brother, man? I'm sorry to make you sit through all of that,
Oh,
sir.
it's all good, dude. It's cool to see you starting to stream, man.
You know, as well as anybody, the stories, you know, and the delays. And you also know personally from probably, I would imagine from your experience, some of the difficulties and struggles, right, that you can run up against.
Oh, dude, totally. Well, and that's the thing that I was telling who was it, Monica and Crypto Stylist the other day, that she was talking about her streams and her early ones. And if you look at any of the early streams, myself, RG3, Hexo, Crypto Coffee, you know, there's a learning curve with anything. So sometimes it takes a couple of streams or things like this to understand StreamYard and, you know, muster up the courage to click that go live button, man. Because, you know, in life, nothing is ever going to be perfect. And sometimes there's like a perfection fallacy sometimes that we have that I've been guilty of as well.
Yeah, you nailed that, because, you know, Bran, you know intimately that I had this whole conceptualization in my brain that I was really concretized towards, like, I'm fixed. I got to do this way. I told a lot of you guys, I don't mind saying it out loud because people don't have my scripts, for example, for the comedy skits or whatever. But Thothschild envisioned maybe being some kind of esoteric nonconformist Johnny Carson character for Hexico. And I have this whole variety show idea with a live performance, with an interview, with a monologue, with desk time, the whole show. It's designed, but I got limited time and resources. And I was just like Bran said, man, the fallacy. I was stuck in this thing that I had to make it perfect. Like I had to launch this as a finished product before I even bothered to do anything. And it was guys like Bran that just, you know, Bran, Nardo, Wales. These guys are all like, dude, sit down in front of the camera and press play and talk.
It's true, man. I mean, it really is that simple. But you know, with anything else, I mean, whether it's, I mean, it's just kind of like, you know, the first couple times, like, asking a chick out or going, you know, mustering up the balls, right. To go walk over to the hottie and say, what's up. You know, sometimes your mind can kind of have like reluctance. But then once you do it, it's like, okay, you know, you put yourself in that situation. And once again, like it only helps you grow from something, right? If you never do that thing that like is holding you back at that time, then that'll just forever be something that holds you back until you actually do it, you know?
Yes, my brother. So wait, you're telling me that you, oh, see, I got to learn all about this modern paradigm. I'm glad I have you here. So you don't hit the girl over the head with the club and drag her back to...
Negatory Ghost Rider.
Oh man, revelation. Thanks.
Been doing it wrong the whole time.
I mean, that's why I have all these consecutive sentences to serve. I couldn't figure it out. God damn. Hey, Bran, I got a question. I'm not even seeing a logo, an icon, an avatar, or your camera. What are you supposed to be black screen here, or
You're not joking?
I don't know. I should look on YouTube. I'm looking on StreamYard and I don't see you. I only hear your voice.
Interesting. Let me refresh on I see myself on YouTube. Yeah.
Do you? Okay. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I wonder what's up with StreamYard then. Interesting.
I'm not too sure, but you know, that's one of those things that yeah, you know, there can be weird glitches or you mentioned that you kind of got like a good audio setup, which is pretty cool too. You know, I've made such rookie mistakes before, dude. Like I've got like a physical soundboard, and then, you know, anyone that's done a StreamYard, you can click the mute button, you know, digitally. But I physically muted myself one time when I was getting some water. I didn't want the noise to be too loud, and I totally forgot to hit the unmute button, dude. And I was, you know, speaking for like 5 minutes, and the way that I address the chat is, you know, I try to do it one at a time and kind of, you know, cover everyone's comments.
I noticed that about you. Right.
Yeah. And so I didn't get to you're muted comments until like 5 minutes down and I was like, oh shit, that was kind of embarrassing. But
Whoa,
you know,
whoa, sorry. I just found it. I just found my own stream on YouTube.
nice,
Okay.
dude.
I
Dude,
told,
sometimes that's half the battle, finding
yeah.
your own streams.
Oh, yeah, yeah, especially since I'm a new channel. Um, Yesterday was the first time I ever got to the business of searching like my own name, either on a Metager, DuckDuckGo, Google search, or on any of the popular platforms. And I don't exist. I'm not there. But you know what was really disturbing that comes up? It's not hard to guess, right? That very famous European dynasty family. That's what comes up because they're assuming, oh, this dumb asshole misspelled what he meant to.
Yeah.
So I said, uh-oh, Thothschild's going to slip in the shower tomorrow morning. You know, the brakes aren't
That's
going to work
funny,
on the
dude.
truck.
Hey, pays to test the brakes before you drive your car, right? Before you put that
Jeez,
sucker
man.
into to drive.
Dude, I don't trust
Wouldn't be the
these.
first time.
I don't trust these modern vehicles with the motherboard, like the controlling microchip that every single element of the vehicle runs off this motherboard. Like I used to drive, like, for example, VW buses, where if you broke down on the side of the road, dude, you could literally like replace a belt with a boot lace or a sneaker lace, you know? Like, you
Damn.
think you could
Yeah.
do that with a Tesla?
No, it's funny that you say that because yeah, yesterday I was at lunch with a friend celebrating something, and instead of walking, I took the Uber, and yeah, there was like a Tesla that had picked me up, and so that was the first time ever being in a Tesla, and I'm like, how the heck do I open the actual door itself? Like nothing is, sometimes they try to do things that like look cool and they sacrifice the convenience of like modern door system. Like it's not like a typical lever that you kind of just pull or that you open this way. It was like a button, and then I don't know, dude. I agree.
Have to do some yoga in front of the door for it to open, right? You have to do like a Tai Chi pose and then the door opens.
Yeah, man, it's quite ironic sometimes, those things, and for me, yeah, I mean, the second car that I owned was like a 5-speed, and I still have it actually, but it's a 5-speed, manual transmission, and I like to be in control, in
Oh,
many
yeah.
different things, and I like to be in control of the car and not have it automatically do these things for me, and in that, like, my awareness is pretty keen.
I'm with you on that. The one place that I'm starting to loosen up on it, and this is, I kind of think the idea was stuck in my head from my father. He used to say, I work too fucking hard to get off work at the end of the day and shift gears. So I think my time with the old manual is coming to a conclusion. I always thought that was fucking hilarious. Like, I'm too tired from work to even shift gears. You guys in trades will understand that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
Okay.
no. I mean, in the Seattle area, dude, I've had some pretty scary experiences because the car that I have, that's that's 5-speed. I don't really even drive it actually at all anymore. But so what is that? Like a 2005, and there's no hill assist or anything like that, obviously. So I had to literally. I'm not a bumper sticker guy. I'm not at all. But you always see all these people with a million different bumper stickers in Seattle. But I had to at least get one that said, "Hey, this is a manual transmission. Like, this car is going to roll back," because so many people that are aggressive drivers would get right up on your ass. And then it's like, hey, the second that I, let go of the brake and start engaging the clutch and gas, it's going to roll back a smidge. So I've had a couple of those scary experiences because, like, Seattle stereotypically has got like these big freaking hills that are, at least probably
Is that a
15-20%
hilly
grade.
town? San Francisco's hilly and Pittsburgh is extremely hilly. Didn't know that about Seattle. I haven't been to the Pacific Northwest yet, so I'm coming to see you this year. All right.
Hey man, for
Tell
sure, dude.
your
Sounds
girlfriend.
good.
Thothschilds
I'll be I'll be at PulseCon too. Finn Bear says modern cars are all remote controllable, suicide attack waiting to happen. Yeah, yeah. I like things that can't get hacked into,
Right.
at least when it comes to the freaking death machine that you're driving.
Man, you ain't never lied, gents. So, guys, I'm just trying to forgive me if I'm sort of half paying attention. It's no disrespect intended. I'm just trying to kind of promote this a little bit, share this stream out a little bit more. We got I forget what it said because they give you the stats and they're like, here is the peak number of concurrent viewers, but then it gives you the total number of viewers too. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. I think I'm up to nearly 100 views on the first stream from last night, which was, highly extemporaneous, highly unprofessional. It's basically a guy on stream working shit out and talking to some of his friends. And we still, got a respectable number of views. But
Yeah.
it's definitely giving me, my point in bringing it up is it's definitely giving me more of an admiration for these guys like Coffee and K4K, right? Like when they're live streaming and you see like 300-400 guys, whales fucking got like fucking 200, 300. I'm like, oh my God, like you got to work hard to achieve that. And then the other feature of that, as you know, Bran, is man, oh man, as soon as that video goes into that status of where it's getting restreamed, the replay, the exponential increase in the numbers, like watching that is the greatest reflection, because not everybody's schedule is going to work out to watch your favorite guys, right? Like right when they're streaming. But as soon as they plug it in on the replay, boy, man, them numbers start going. I was on Whales live streams. You know this. There'd be 120 people in there, and literally in 6 hours, it was like over 1,500 views or something. It's just amazing.
No, it's true. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and like we've even got people like now the community's just gotten so big that you've got sometimes 2, 3, like just the other day there was like 2 or 3 live streamers at once, and that's definitely a sign of growth and success. And how cool is it that people have they've got not only like integrity behind kind of like why they're streaming and they're putting their face there on the line and things like that, but they've got like conviction and passion behind wanting to start up. And that's why I said it's cool to see you streaming and inviting me on, because once again, everyone does have something to say and different inputs to provide value to, so you never really know until you hear someone actually do it.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. There's a lot more that I have envisioned, as becoming a part of this. I need to get more comfortable with the dynamics of the whole thing, because I do have the ability to like understand charts better now than I did 14 months ago. I'd like to bring things like that up. I'd like to bring up, for example, maybe perhaps articles, like Whales does. I like to bring up graphics and funnies and stuff like that. I just want to get more, smooth with actually running a structured show, instead of per se like we're doing now or did last night, where it's just like 2 guys talking on stream.
Sure. Yeah.
But with time, I think.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes that's kind of like how you have to learn too, because you can practice a million times, right? Like say for like the final speech or the presentation, things like that. But sometimes it's just that final presentation or the actual stream itself that over time it gets better with each iteration, because same thing that I was saying last night, like I can show you how to share the screen without doxing, because there's a couple different ways of doing it, and one of them shares like the entire window of what you're seeing. So the time, all of the applications, the URL, and that's the one that you don't want to do, because obviously there's just so much doxing information there.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was really paranoid about that, Brandon,
Yeah. Better not to even try, at least while you're on a live, than attempt it and, accidentally have to delete the stream because you revealed information that was personal or private.
Well, I don't know. You guys are welcome to tell me what you think. Children of the Grave, he caught it. This is how professional ninja this guy is. He catches it in like a half of a second and gives me a little verbal spanking for it yesterday. But I did show my receipt from my 14th floor stay at the Marriott in September of the year 2000. So we're in the World Trade Center, 51 weeks before the shit went down. And it's something I had spoken to Wales and some fellas on one of the Wales only streams about. And I said on that stream, one of these days in Hexco, when I'm streaming, I will prove to you guys that I was in the World Trade Center, before the attacks, like right before the attacks. So I showed it yesterday and I hold it up. And of course, my government's right there. There wasn't any sensitive, like, credit card information or anything like that. I did check for that. But I was kind of on, and I think it's a personal choice. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But it's kind of up to the individual, the content creator, how much of himself he's going to let out. Like,
totally.
For example, you will get whacked if you find out maybe Whale's name. But with me, I kind of always operated under the auspices that one of these days, what my mother and father named me will just be kind of like common knowledge. Now, a guy like you, unless this is all part of one really cool ploy on your part, like your Balliet brand, your Brandon Balliet, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Any thoughts or input you have on that topic are appreciated.
Yeah. No, it's a good question, right? Because I mean, so I was born in 96 and same thing you see.
Oh, my heart. Oh my God. Don't say things like that.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
No, it's all perspective, but I would see videos in like the late 90s of it was some sort of, it wasn't like Oprah, but it was something like that where it's like kind of like a talk show thing. And they're like, what is internet? It's kind of like when people say like the Facebooks or the YouTubes, you can just tell there's like kind of like a disconnect with, the thing itself. But anyways, yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know, man. Yeah, obviously there's bad things that can come with doxing of information and things like that. And that's why I think it's important to not only keep security tight, but yeah, kind of close things off that, that don't allow people to kind of do bad things like that. But as far as all of that goes, I mean, I've always had Balliet brand as like a gamer tag when I played a whole bunch of Xbox
I got
things like that.
Right.
And so, never
so you
really
already had some
story.
experience in the world of public view with, your government.
Yeah. Well, and dude, I'll be honest, like, because when I got into crypto in 2017, like I'm a, huge fan of, operational security or just like the cypherpunk movement. And so it's like the whole, epitome and things like that was to, kind of not, not just be all out there in the public and use your real name and things like that. That's why I have, Brian Jones and Steve Johnson at the time. But then when Hex came out, because I had a whole bunch of conviction and passion for crypto when I first got into it with Bitcoin, same thing. It was like 900, $1,000 when I bought my first Bitcoin and some of these other cryptos. But it wasn't until kind of experiencing a first, market cycle. So crypto doesn't go up forever, right? Experiencing the peak. And then it was like when Hex came out that it's like, once again, RG3, hexologists, those people were the first ones that kind of started the community. And then after I saw them, it was after like effing Hangout. I had seen a couple episodes with RG3 and effing Hangout that I was like, you know what? Like if this guy's doing it and Hexo's on here, which I watch every day, like, maybe it's not too bad for me to jump on. And so
there it is, folks. You heard it from the horse's mouth with Balliet brand, an iconic Hexican in his own right. He just saw the brothers, Hexo and RG3 doing it and he got after it.
And they're having such a good time, dude. Like it reminded me of like my older brothers, or I was telling Crypto Silas, like, if you're at a party, or maybe you're not at a party, but you're in a public area and you see, people at a park or whatever, having a whole bunch of fun and laughing and having a good time, it piques people's curiosity. They want to be where the fun is. And like, just like in crypto, right? People want to be where the mad gains are. They don't want to be where the gains are getting cuckolded every single day. So.
Now, it's funny. you were bringing up, I think of two things. I thought of Litecoin, your time in that community, but before that, I was thinking about what you said about stepping away and thinking you're off and you're not. And I thought about that time that RG3 took a
Oh
piss for the
yeah.
entire Hexican nation to participate in listening to. God bless you. Hey, I got to
Yeah.
meet him. I got to meet him at that party that we were at, right? At
Yeah.
Naga's.
Which one? The Nagas? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And seeing, I got to tell you, like, he and I aren't like the tightest of allies in this thing. He's not one of those that had the extra time or space to get to like everybody. Kinetics, who his partner, now he's one who really leaned into being really cool to me, welcoming me in and all that. But RG3, that having been said, without the tightness, I still had a lot of regard for the guy. And when I finally got to meet this cat at Nagabo's party, Bran, I got to tell you, that was kind of surreal for me. Now meeting Brandon
Sure.
from Rags to Riches, meeting you, let me think who else. Luther and his lovely wife, Pulsebird, meeting these folks.
Yeah, she's great.
This was like Marco the Hexican. This is like meeting my brothers or my cousins.
Yeah.
Like, it was really organic and comfortable for me. But something about, I almost said his given name, something about RG3. It was a little surreal. And at one point I walked around the corner, right? And he's standing there. And I'm like, yo, bro. I was like, this is fucked up, man. He's like, yeah, how so? He's sober. Nobody else around him is. Everybody, everybody's fucked up. How so? I said, because I don't know. I spent the last year watching you on TV. And here you are standing right in front of me. Now, the same could be said for all you guys, right? But for some reason with RG3, I don't know, he's more iconic, I guess, or something. I don't know, but it was really, really surreal. One of those moments where you're like, it's almost similar to the feeling of deja vu, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's here like right now. And I'm used to that guy being on a screen. Freaky. Although I was sleep deprived, RG3, so maybe it's just
hallucination.
Yeah.
No, dude, it happens, man. Cause like, after following Richard for over 5 years and things like that, I still haven't met him,
Right.
And I wanted to go to the Hex 731, but like same thing. I mean, I'm just not going to compromise.
Do you mean the Hex 741?
Yeah, exactly.
I want one of those shirts. I gotta get Ken to give me one of those shirts. I love a good satire, man. I love a good
Oh yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing too, is like so many great moments, and that was kind of like the same surreal experience that I had at the first conference that was happening. Was that Big Kurkowski had a party as well, and it was just really cool to meet all the people, that same thing I had seen or that I had streamed with, RG3 and all these other people. And it's cool, man. This community is, it really is the definition of grassroots, man. And when you've got so much of the gatekeeping that we've faced, so much of the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, it's it's really, you mentioned like 𝕍𝕗𝕋𝕙𝕗𝕗 and things like that. It really has, it's kind of like a welding bond. It's bonded us together, and through thick and thin.
Man, my little my pseudo haiku, man. I was motivated. I was spiritually on fire when those words came to me, and I believe them. So thanks for bringing up the 𝕍𝕗𝕋𝕙𝕗𝕗. But it's at these times, Brand. See, I'm Libran, not only in sign, an air sign. I'm a fire air kind of guy. I guess it's obvious, but I'm a justice seeker. And when I now feel like I am part of this community, and I'm hypersensitive to attack, in fact, this is an important conversation that once my reputation in the show develop, I'm going to cross that bridge. I want to talk openly about these things, because to me, there are vectors. Okay. First off, let's start with the product in the community. Okay. are not just like hated by haters. It's considered a threat on some levels. So if you can see that and admit that, it logically follows, responsible logic follows that there will be attack vectors in the community. So once you've identified the attack vectors as they exist in the community, and believe me, they're, you know, as well as I do, they're multifaceted. You start to get that thing like, my people like are unjustly being attacked. It's not just me that's being attacked. It's like my fearless leader, okay, my brother who helped to change my life, Richard Hart, is being attacked. My brother, like Bran, you know what I'm saying? Like my brothers across the entire ecosphere are being attacked. That does not sit well with me. Like I want to be part of the effort. Okay. And this isn't even for me. This isn't like a I'm Manchester United and you're Arsenal motherfucker type of thing. Like that's how we get in crypto. Like the Litecoin guys got their little jerseys on and the Hex guys got their jerseys, and it ain't like that. It's like we're operating from a position, okay, of decency, righteousness, truth telling, research, freedom, but with responsibility. These are all attributes I'll die for. So if I hear a motherfucker coming incorrect, I'm going to take umbrage with that. So I'm thinking Hexicans. Yeah, man. Hexicans. Lock shields, rock yields, and fight in mad shade.
No, it's true, man.
It was accurate.
I mean, and anything that's ever really been, and like you had said previously, but that's been, you know, revolutionary, whether it's the internet or cryptography in general, right? Like, you know, not wanting the average citizen and things like that to be able to have cryptography when in reality it's like part of the right to privacy and things. There's always going to be pushback and blowback and challenges that are faced, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Now these boys are saying that you got some blang blang on the old pimp hands, some weight. Now I'm hearing.
Well,
what's this all
so,
about?
I'm a copycat. So
right.
one of the Hexicans, right? So one of the Hexicans, I think it was, yeah, I don't know what his name is right off bat, but he had posted this ring that he had customly done, and it's just like a little black hexagon, and you know, kind of got a little pyramid structure. But I don't know if you can kind of see, but so that side is the little hex. You know, you can see the little hex right there, and then I think. The other one I kind of have to like break my finger for you to see it, but it's a pulse chain logo on the other side. Yeah, it's a pulse chain logo on the other side. I mean, you should be able to kind of be able. I don't know. You can kind of see there's a pulse on one side, a hex on the other, and then yeah, I totally. You know, Richard, I always thought his rings were cool, and I've never, you know, I'm not, you know, believe me, I'm not going to be one of the guys that's like blowing stupid money on things like it, but I thought the rings were cool, and I remember him saying they were made by like Thomas Sabo or, you know, things like that. And so yeah, I got the same skull ring that he's got. Once again, you know, kind of just copying the good taste.
Dude. I don't think I don't think it's cheesy at all. I think it works.
Yeah. Well, dude, and I mean, I don't know, like once again, a lot of people they compliment it or they like it and they're like, oh, hey, you know, so I guess it's just kind of like another conversation starter, but you know, that kind of leads me into like, hey, you know, my billionaire friend, I just copied him, you know, so
why
not many people have, you know, people that they know they're actual billionaires. So especially self-made, I think that's cool.
Yes, I agree with you, man. Why not? You know, why not emulate it? I'm like you. I can't go in, like, I can't see myself going in for the suitcases and the hamburger and the Dolce Gabbana and the Gucci, yada, yada, yada. However, I could see myself, you know, if everything else and everybody else is taken care of, I could see myself, you know, dropping a little bit of coin on maybe one vanity piece, you know. I mean, you see how easy I am to please. I got some cedar tree beads right here.
Oh, cool. Nice, dude.
You know, but I would like I want one hex pulse piece that somebody looks at it and they're like, I'll be like, you didn't know? And they'll be like, oh shit. Like that is something to take extremely seriously, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, Richard, his his first super successful company. I don't even know what it's called right off bat, but the one where he's got, talk about super gaudy, where he's got like the fist crushing money logo. And I always remember seeing that and being like, dude, that is super badass. And
That
then
reminded
he
me
had
of the
said that
Hunter
he had
Thompson
customers.
peyote fist. I
I don't
don't
know
know
what
if
that
you're
is. Let me
familiar with it.
see. Let's see. Hunter
It's the
Thompson.
two-thumbed, the double-thumbed with the peyote button
Oh
in the
yeah,
middle of
yeah,
it.
that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah,
And the
exactly.
dagger
And
is the wrist. Yeah.
well, and dude, same thing. Like I'm such a plain Jane dude where like, even these, 10 or $12 shirts on Amazon or hexmerch.com, like I don't really need expensive stuff at all, nor do I really want it. Richard mentioned the interview that he had most recently done with the guy from the Highest of Stakes. I forget what he had
I
said,
didn't catch
something
that
along the
one yet.
lines.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I got to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. But he had mentioned something along the lines of like Richard's favorite shirt is like 3 for 10. Some sort of
Right.
Hanes shirt, and like and and it's funny too because like I remember Papa B talking a long time ago in the chats when Richard's wearing the Louis Vuitton thing that it's like it's not actual leather, it's painted, or it's it's canvas pretty much is what it is. And
Mhm.
anyways, so it's interesting how society and how the world itself through like trends kind of says that things are valuable because it is the social consensus. You've got people like Richard blowing stupid money on watches that he doesn't even wind or these things, but they work
Yeah.
and they get the attention. So
Right. Right. Yeah. It's like it is relative. And, let's say some shit goes down, which is not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
yep.
You can't get a glass of clean water for your children to drink. Guess how valuable that fill in the blank becomes,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it'd be
Mm-hmm.
in a second, be without question. And I'm not dissing it because, like I said, I want to get like eventually get a piece myself, but that's after I have the land. It's after I have everybody I care about divested, or living in proper status. That's after I have my cache of weaponry. That's after I have a food source. That's
Yeah.
after I have an energy source. After I
Smart.
have a spring, because water, is just,
Yeah. Vital.
oh my God, these are all the things that I will be, thinking about. And my like-minded brothers and sisters that I'm affiliated with, that's the things that we'll be thinking about. So if you ever see me or my immediate family or tribe sporting something that's entirely a vanity piece, I think you'll be able to say to yourself,
You hit
hey,
it.
Thothschild arrived. He got everything
Yep.
done off his list.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's important. You're totally right about that. Like it's important to distinguish a want versus a need.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. What good. And Richard talked about that, and even in his debate with Peter Schiff, like they talk about in times of war, I mean, people aren't going to give a shit about gold. They're not going to, you'd see this thing with gold where it's like, oh, you can bite it off, or you can kind of like snap this thing off, and like who once again, something is only as valuable as what the social consensus is with
Right.
that. So I mean, especially in that kind of scenario that you mentioned, I think freedom seeds would be a lot more valuable. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of important to, like you mentioned, get some of the bases covered before
Uh-huh.
you get stuff that's just useless.
Well, we have Sister 1S in the chat, and she's the one who enlightened me to a value for these precious metals. And I think, we'd be talking like platinum, silver, gold. What's the other one? Is it palladium?
Mm-hmm.
But these are, especially silver, and to a lesser extent, I think gold, or maybe I have that switched. You, in order to do certain functions in the process of extricating yourself from the corporation and grabbing back your private law status, which will ultimately result in you reclaiming your sovereign, autonomous, free but responsible status as your own, You belong to yourself and your creator, the essence of the creator of the universe, however you choose to see it. You belong to that instead of this fucking labyrinth of machinations that they've constructed around commodification of the individual. And she was showing me quite logically how, in order to close the deal, okay, on some of these transactions, you literally need to give that officer, for example, of the court, so many grams of like gold or silver. My mind was like fucking blown by that shit. I had no idea.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either, but hey, it's cool that we've got a community that's constantly educating people and whether it's different opinions or things like that.
She just said a little something about it. I think she sees it as having transactive value. Okay. When the tribes are out there trading and bartering and conducting business, if we ever were to have some kind of reset or collapse, but there she, to the point that I was making, also ultimately for lawful divestment. We might have to expound on that, because I think 1S, we would all in this community in particular like to learn these things. We're an education hungry community, and the shit like that, be it real, we want to know about it. What do you say, Brian?
Yeah, no, it's important, man.
Yeah.
There's because I kind of have this same thing where I try to do like everything by myself, and then it's like, then you might not want to delegate things to other people, because how do you know if it can be done the right way or not? But you can't learn everything all at once. I mean, other people have to be experts in their area, and you need to be able to learn from those people too. And that's what Richard says is like, focus on a handful of things that you can be good at versus trying to be mildly good at a whole bunch of things.
Well, it's a great point. I'm probably guilty of being the polymath, trying to be the Renaissance man a little bit. But then again, that could just be an elaborate excuse for my raging ADHD, right? Hey, man, what's Thothschilds saying? I think he was talking, he didn't like the last stanza. Fighting mad shade. I'm going to use a term like mad because, I'm a hip hop generation kid, and mad is to me, the phrasing, it fit the rhythm to have a one syllable word there. So I could possibly replace mad shade with, it would have to be like, for the rhythm of the way I want it to work out, it would have to be one syllable. So cray shade, something like that. But then shade, as you know, would be the double entendre of from the story 300, when they're under their shields and the arrows are falling, and most people would be shitting. Yeah, most people would be shitting a brick. Yeah. These warriors are like a fight in the shade. That was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
So I said it like people out in the press, people out in social media are throwing shade on fucking Hexico. So that's what I thought was cool. COTG.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. I actually just watched that movie the other day, which I thought was funny that you kind of brought that up, because actually, so there's a Tonto Nomanai who goes by like Dipcatcher, and then
wait, this is the guy who developed Maximus.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So him and his buddy Gold Key. So they were kind of talking about, they were doing a Maxi stream the other day. Dipcatcher was, and he was playing a scene. I forget what kind of giveaway he was doing. It was for some sort of Maxi input, but anyways, after the giveaway was done, he played like a scene from the movie Gladiator. And I thought to myself, because that movie came out in like 92. And, once again, I was born in 96. And I remember seeing that movie like once when I was a kid, but I'm not a huge movie guy, to be honest. Yes, and when I am, it's memorable. It's because I remembered something. So long story short, I watched that movie fully, for the first time as an adult the other day. And damn, dude, that's a good movie, because I always remember the meme where it's like, are you not entertained? And he's looking at the crowd. But it's a good movie, and it's got like a lot of successful principles that I think have stood the test of time.
Yeah, first off, I think 300 for me, this is only my opinion, and everybody's entitled to theirs. It's art. I'm an artist. It's like there's no accounting for taste. I couldn't do Gladiator. the way I could do 300. The reason being,
Mm-hmm.
300 was coming out of the gate admitting that it's a comic book version of a story. I mean, let's look at it, right? Look at oh God, frick, the Persian king. God, why I'm like a historian and I can't even remember simple
It's
shit.
all good, dude. It happens when you're streaming.
What's the Persian king's name? They have him as like a 13-foot person. So right out of the gate, you know that 300 is like comic book a little bit. Whereas Gladiator for me almost postulates itself for
Xerxes?
Xerxes. Thank you very much. And
I had to Google that, yeah.
his dad began with the H because I knew the whole lineage, like Charlemagne. His dad was Pepin. Like I know this weird shit like that. But you know, it was almost like Gladiator was in a really kind of sly way saying to dumb, impressionable people, we're showing you history here. And I'm like, fuck, what? Like I had a really big problem with the cavalry charge against the quote unquote Germanic barbarian line. I guess that was supposed to be in Gaul. Like I know things about like these readings of history. So it can ruin things for you, you know? Now if I can compartmentalize it successfully, like I did with say James Bond growing up, you know what I mean? And just like, that's fucking entertainment, dude. Let it go. You know what I mean? I think it's like the slippery slope that we're on in society where people are just so fucking uneducated and fucking dumb and
Yeah,
fucking
that's true.
willfully ignorant that I allow myself to get bothered by it because it's hard to live in a world where you're surrounded by people who, for example, will think that Gladiator is an accurate retelling of history. You know, and I know that I'm Libran, so I see both sides. You know what I mean? I see the escapism, the fun, the cool. I do see that and the value in it. But then you have this part of Thothschild that gets all rankled by it. So it's a tortured life. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Hey, COTG says you could smash somebody's face with your rings.
Might as well be brass knuckles, except with some spikes on it, right? The little falcon beak.
Pretty
you know?
design, you know? You'll like tag somebody and have a real pretty pulse right there.
Except I wouldn't want to do that because then it'd be a unique identifier, you know? Like, oh, the guy with the skull ring. Oh, you know, fucking throw it in the ocean.
Children of the Grave.
No, but
some nice suits and a couple watches.
You're right about and I always felt this way as a kid too, like growing up in school and things like that. And I'm grateful to have had like a computer in my room and since third grade. And obviously, like now we've got laptops and stuff and like, you know, LCD screens, you know, thin screens and stuff. But the computer in my room, literally the monitor was probably like 50 pounds, and it was probably like the frame's not even big enough for me to show how, you know, big the monitor itself was. But anyways, the thing I wanted to say is, you know, you're totally right. Where, I mean, especially in crypto, we're such a minority compared to the rest of the world or other investments. And most people just really have not caught on to things in general. I mean, most people, they like watching like celebrity TV shows and all these different flicks, and they might not focus on like things that can actually benefit them, you know? So when people see other people that are successful and they kind of come from that paradigm, you know, they feel like maybe it wasn't earned, but in reality, the people that earned it just chose to do different things.
Right. Yeah. There's a rub to that, man. And I'm as guilty as anybody. For as principled as I try to be, this projection of judgment, is it not one of the hardest things, you know, for the human species to try and get around? Because we think we know, but we don't really know unless we know. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, most people, I mean, you see this in crypto a lot or just in general, where people's kind of egos get in the way, but where someone would rather stay wrong than, they would rather stay wrong than to admit the other person was right. And it's like, dude, you know, when the heck are you going to realize like we're fighting the same battle? You know, I share this, like Richard says it with Bitcoiners or things like that, where a lot of them share the same initial ideals that a lot of these people talk about, but they they just can't see because they've got, like a complex or a paradigm in their way that's blocking judgment.
Dude, case in point, I'll fucking say it. This BTC community, I mean, I think we really got a really good idea what cognitive dissonance looked like, boots on the ground after 9/11. And then as we're going through this and like cognitive dissonance, you like literally can show people scientific facts, you can show them charts. Oh, now here's a real human being in front of you who will testify, and they're just like dude, man, you like really it's like, okay. Yeah. And that's where I feel like we're at with BTC Maxis. Now I gotta fucking give some props to my boy Rags to Riches Brandon, who our other great Brandon in this community. He fucking destroyed BTC Maxis last Friday, guys. If you guys haven't seen After Dark, I know it's hard because we're really like Brandon, like our Brandon here tonight has said, we're getting a log jam of good content. It's a good problem to have, but the side effect is you're just never going to be able to catch everything. So that's the reason why I'm specifically bringing up Rags to Riches After Dark. The Friday episode was a line in the sand for our whole community. Okay. I would place that line in the sand drawn by Rags to Riches Brandon right behind Richard's. Okay. Richard drew the first line right behind him. Brandon, bam, done. Enough said. I don't even need to fucking add to the argument. The only place I will accept any more input on the fucking topic is naturally from Wales and Jay and their macros. Other than that, these people are buck-toothed, sister fucking mulleted motards, dude. I almost feel bad, but I don't.
So I didn't see that one because he's actually been pumping out a whole bunch of content.
Holy shit,
and same thing. But so did he have like a BTC Maxi on his stream or something? Or
no, what he was doing, he was coming out of a bag of let me see, he was in a Twitter space is what it was. And he goes ahead and relates the story with verifiable witnesses because that's our boy Rags, man.
Yep.
I love, have you seen, not to go off too far, but have you seen when he interviews these new project guys and they claim to be Hexicans, and what's Rags say to them right away? Would you be willing to verify, that address, so that we can see if these guys are really telling the truth, because people spread lies so casually. I mean, you can imagine getting caught on it by Rags, dude. Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's just like you and I both know that it's just like, and RG3 had said it. I mean, as far as like the way that we have the internet versus in person, but it's just like someone that talks a whole bunch of shit that's like never been in a fight, and then all of a sudden, land is the other.
There it is, right there, boys and girls. Here it is. Sorry, Brandon. Continue.
Oh, just to the point that someone thinks that they're all tough until even Mike Tyson said it. You think you're all tough until you kind of go head to head and get punched in the nose or punched in the face, and all of a sudden your vision's blurring or your nose just starts gushing, and then it's like, oh shit, what my previous paradigm of being able to type behind a keyboard is not actually the way that reality works.
Right, the keyboard warrior. Oh, I love it.
Well, dude, I think what you mentioned too, because I'm a huge firm believer of that as well. I mean, I don't care if it's family, significant other, some person on the internet. Like, if they say something, for me, it's always just been like honesty has always been a policy. So if someone wanted to call me on something, I would be able to back it up and kind of recite that. And so I think that's important to have is skepticism, right? Because we've
healthy
you mentioned because we got to where we were at by verifying what Richard's talked about with the audited code. It's complete, no admin keys, things like that. That's all verifiable, but anyone can really say anything that they want. And unfortunately, if a community or a group of people is too accepting or too gullible, you can find yourself in some muddy waters. I mean, it
Oh
happens, you know,
God.
so you have
Oh
to have
yeah.
discernment, and like to the point where Motley Investor, he's talked about it, where you know, he's been slighted so many times that he had said, you know, he had mentioned this on maybe a couple months ago stream where, you know, where he's almost jaded to the point, and not necessarily jaded, but you're almost like skeptical from the very beginning. And I think that's kind of how people should be in general, because for me, like, I don't care what someone's telling me, like they should prove it for me to believe them. And then you kind of have, you know, like a ground to stand on for the relationship. But
And
if
you
it's
are
all
a
talk and no
wonderful,
backup.
wonderful synthesis of that, young man. You really, really are, dude, because I know you are authentically, genuinely a sweet, loving, kind, caring person, like holistically, but you're not one of those types that's a fucking pushover. It's
Yeah,
like a wonderful,
exactly. Yeah.
it's the way to be. I
Yeah.
sometimes find myself, um, truly aspiring to be a little bit more like you in some ways, kiddo, because I don't know whether it was my time on the Philly streets or what, but I can be a snapdragon for go get fucked. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. Well,
oh,
well, I mean, you and I both know that, like, no matter how much of a, you know, good amount of patience someone has or a temperament, I mean, life is always throwing, you know, oh, you think you're ready for this? Let me throw a challenge in
oh
your,
shit.
you know,
Oh,
like, let me throw a
testify.
challenge over here.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
let's test how ready you think you are for something. And
Mhm.
you know, culmination of those kind of events kind of lead to people.
Man, well said. Hey, Bran, do you have a little bit more time to spend with us yet? I know that you
Yeah,
have your
man. Yeah,
okay, good. I have a
totally, dude.
couple
Yeah.
questions for you. I wanted to, for a moment, circle back on something that you said that I caught. You said you had the device in your own bedroom from a very young age. I found that to
Oh
be
yeah, 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 yeah.
interesting. Would you go ahead and then say who was it, mama or dad or older brother? Them making sure that you had access to that definitely could be logged as a one of the credentials for why you were in
Yeah.
the right place at the right time and
Yeah.
did the right things.
No, yeah, I think my yeah, is my dad. So like I think my dad,
Nice.
because you know, he had, you know,
Nice.
IT jobs, and he
Mhm.
he did real estate too. But you know, yeah, kind of off and on things like that. He's, you know, worked some like internet technology sales jobs, and I always thought that that was really cool. And you know, I saw it for what it was, where like,
Mhm.
you know, and whether you're watching a movie or whether, you know, just like we had with the Xerxes thing in 300, like, oh yeah, what's the name of that thing? Like, imagine, it's so crazy that we live in a paradigm now where like any question you freaking have, you can literally have answered from this little, you know, glass device in your pocket. And so, long story
Right.
short, I quickly, I mean, yeah, similar to Richard, I had like a gaming addiction. I mean, I gamed for about 10 years too, and crippling to the point where that's all I was doing. And you know, screw homework and all this stuff, I'm just going to play these video games instead. but
Right.
um but yeah, like I always liked the aspect that, for me, I never liked being taught by teachers, because it's like, well, they're just reading from a fucking book. And like, why
Yeah,
don't I
I'm
just
with
not
you on
listen to
that.
them? Unless I can relate to them, why don't I just not listen to them? And why don't you give me the book so I can teach myself? Because I know the way that I learn best. And so that's kind of what the internet was for me. And honestly, that's why, yeah, I mean, I was an early adopter in, like, you know, I've had Twitter since like 2008, YouTube since before Alphabet bought them out, things
Uh-huh.
like this. And it's because, you know, I wanted to find those places where you can teach yourself and learn. And anyways, the internet's awesome. Yeah, it's a huge contributor to where I'm at today, because you know, in you know, many ways the parents were sheltering, you know, sheltering in other ways. But I'm glad
Mhm.
that
Okay.
I had that ability. And so I kind of just had the discernment that, like, okay, hey, you know, your knowledge is really all you kind of have, your facts, logic, and wisdom.
Very nice. I kind of have a follow-up on it, but I really quick need to acknowledge this from 20 minutes ago. I don't know. Finn, dudes, are you using the same link as last night? I don't understand. How is that manifesting itself out in the world? We're on YouTube. My guest is here.
Should be a different link,
Yeah, I don't.
because with each stream, StreamYard generates a different link. So you
Sure.
should just
Yeah.
be able to.
Well, you
Sounds like
got
he wants to
here,
join. You
so
should
it's
be able to.
proof that I used the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
link because you got here.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. If you want, I can forward it over to him. It sounds like he wants
That
to.
would be great. And
Let me do that real quick here.
I
Finbear.
would, oh, he wants to guest up. Is that what he's saying?
It sounds like he's trying to join from the question of are you using the same link. So
Oh,
Finbear,
well,
if you want,
I
it's
would kind of like, if possible, I need until at least 2 o'clock, just me and Bran. And then I'll be happy to open it up
oh
after
yeah,
2
yeah,
a.m., which is in 18 minutes.
cool.
My
Yeah,
friend.
that kind of works for me
Okay.
to kind of dip out
Very
to.
good. Yeah, cool, cool. I really appreciate it, Finn. So then, we do have some really concise and valuable quotes here from 1S we might look at next. And I have some things here specifically for Brand too. But first, I need to ask my follow-up question then. So a lot of us know your story then, Pacific Northwest, salt of the earth family, you're playing football, but you're not really feeling like a football kid. The
Exactly.
dynamic that I've always gathered from you is, man, it's this relationship with a tribe that you have that just so happens to all live under the same roof. And that is
Yep. Yep.
the Balliet brothers, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's a wild kind of cool thing. I was an eldest of 3 myself, and I just had a brother and a sister, and I love them to death, but we were never like super close. And when I hear
Yeah.
you talk about the dynamic of your family, I find that to be really interesting. So Bran,
Mm.
were you kind of like the brilliant, like tech savvy little brother, and did everybody come to you with their questions like how do I get on the network or something? Like, were you the one answering that, or was it one of your older brothers?
It's an interesting question because yeah, I am super grateful, for our parents, like, yeah, bringing us closer together as brothers, and like, you know, because, yeah, having 3 older brothers, I was more close growing up with the one that was just a little bit older than me, and then same thing with the oldest and the other. As far as like, kind of one person that would go to the tech and stuff, really, I mean, a lot of us would just go to our my dad, because I mean, you might be on like a, website and get a virus back in the day, and like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, Dad, I need your help, so,
Did you ever have any
so
uncomfortable moments like, Dad, what is this I just found on the internet? Well, son, that's called DP, and I don't know if you're ready for it just yet.
I found that all by myself without
And
I
kept it
didn't
the
need no
fuck to yourself
explanations,
too.
That's one of the things of having older brothers, right?
I
Is
was gonna
like,
say,
you know,
what's that brother right above you? His name? You're like, Jimmy, what's that? What's his thing in her pudding for?
yeah, no, I'm not like I wasn't a Napster guy, like, because that was before my time, but we had like LimeWire and things like that,
Oh, I
and
remember
now
that.
obviously
Yeah.
you've got torrenting and things. But yeah, no, it's so cool that one network itself, or just the internet itself, can be so broad, what it can do, transactions, or cryptocurrency as we see now, but just all of the different uses, because everyone, it's really got something for everyone, whether people want to zone out and have their little Oculus thing, or the goggles and stuff like that, or whether people want to, I know you're really like self-taught, and very like I don't know, you're constantly trying to get answers to questions that you have. Like, that's kind of the person that I am. Is I was always and still am, a curious person, and I always had like a curiosity that was just never really satisfied. And so I like the
Yeah,
idea
man.
of like, hey, I didn't like my first car. I couldn't afford anything else to work on the car, or if a part broke, like you mentioned with the shoestring, I didn't have a shoestring,
Right.
but I learned how to like replace my motor mounts in my first car, and things like that, thanks to the internet, and also thanks to
Pretty cool.
having no other option.
I think
So,
that's awesome, bro. Yeah. I mean, you went out and you got it, and it was available to you, and you fucking got it. I think that's so cool. You made me think of something. Um, Anybody who knows me knows that I'm completely blown away and enamored by my own children. Like,
yeah, that's
there is
awesome.
no way a fuck up like me has done such a good job. Every
That's so cool.
teacher that I ever talked to is like, this is the most special student I've had in 15, 20, 30 years of teaching. I've heard that 3 out of 4 times yet. And the only reason that I haven't heard it 4 times is because the little guy didn't start school yet. So, you know, I
Nice,
joke,
dude.
people are like,
That's
how are the
awesome.
kids? I say, well, there's still 10 fingers and 10 toes. So I'm doing something right. But, you know, and the truth of the matter is they're exceptional. Now, my eldest, oh, guys, I don't really know how to even start. Imagine like a looker like Brad Pitt who could knock you on your ass, but has the heart of like Balliet Brand and the Buddha had a baby. That's my eldest son, dude. Okay. Now I get this boy who has the name of like a great king who may or may not have walked the face of the earth. But, you know, I knew what I was doing with this kid's naming. I knew what I was doing with all their namings. Now, this boy was receiving, he's been this wonderful synthesis, my firstborn child, the alpha leader of a really outdoorsy kid, okay, who can find lunch out in the eastern, you know, woods. And I'm being serious now. He can build structures. He can make all manner of tools and weapons. He can identify all these species of different things, but he'll kick my ass 99 times out of 100 at Super Mario Kart. You know what I mean? And then he got on Steam. So all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, he's learning about these games and stuff. Like, I'm like, whoa, this kid's a gamer on top of it. Now, the reason you made me think of him is you brought up like Oculus and the VR shit.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I was really worried about this. I'm worried about like kind of reprogramming of brain synapses and subliminal messaging and things of this nature.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. Well, this boy, okay, he finally gets these goggles, right? And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm mourning this because I'm like, I'm going to lose a part of my son. Well, guess what? I'm proud to report that he went through about 6 weeks where they were on for maybe 2 hours a day if he got the time, you know, to do it. And now he's literally not even picking them up and putting them on. 9 times out of 10, the kid would rather go outside in the woods. And I'm just like, whoa, this is fucking awesome. I don't know how to bottle this, folks. So if you're having problems with your own kid, I'd love to help, but I don't know what to. I'm just blessed, you know, it's amazing.
Well, dude, in like, I've noticed just a common theme and you know, reoccurrence and problem, to be honest with. I mean, yeah, you want to talk about parenting because same thing. We always got compliments of you know, oh, you know, the Balliet boys, you know, they're always so well behaved and well mannered, and I think a lot of that comes from the parents, right? Like it's just like what Motley has said about and same thing with Jack, you know, Jack Mills and things like that, and her husband Jay, where like it's like the pit bull stereotype where, you know, oh, you know, everyone thinks like the pit bull is gonna tear someone's face up and things like this, but it really is kind of how, you know, how you're led and guided and teach and also having discernment. I mean, obviously, you know, nature plays its, you know, act too, but anyways, no, that's really cool with your kids. I mean, the thing that I was going to say with the parenting thing is it's disgusting that we kind of just have like a society that not only is everything like instant gratification, but for parents, like if their kid is screaming or things like that, instead of them figuring out like what they need, I've seen often where like the mom or the dad just takes their phone and they shove it in the kid, you know, they shove it in the kid's hands, and then the kid just like, oh, okay.
We've all
like,
had to do that.
Yeah.
We've all had to do that.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I just said all that to say that you'd mentioned with your kid, because like, you know, other kids that might have had that same experience of, hey, little kid, here's like an Oculus, like they might never leave the house because they're so enamored by all of it, you know. So you kind of have all sides of the spectrum, but that's really cool, man. I can only imagine how you know, proud and things like that you feel to not only have your lineage and things like that, but you know, to be able to, you know, like you mentioned, you know, 10 fingers and 10 toes. Like, even though we played football and, you know, had a like, everyone's had their bell rung a couple of times,
Right.
but never really had any major broken bones and things like this. And we had a
What?
trampoline,
Four
like,
boys?
yeah, we
Oh,
roughhoused all the time, and some sprains here and there, but never like clean breaks and stuff. And anyways, yeah, it's cool. I can only imagine the satisfaction, I guess, that comes from having your lineage.
I appreciate you saying that, my man. I mean, you're one of these personalities who I actually would have no problem leaving my child alone in a room with you, and that's saying
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
because I think my kids have been babysat by somebody who wasn't direct
sure.
family this many
Mm,
times in their entire
yeah,
lives. So
yep, yeah,
it's that
man.
hands-on parenting. In my generation, now I don't know what it was like for yours, but in my generation, everybody got touched as a kid. I mean, it's really fucked up, dude. It's like a pandemic in its
Yeah,
own
yeah,
right. People between a
yeah,
certain age
yeah, true.
were fucking molested. In
Yep,
my generation now with the children, nobody's kids got molested because,
yeah, yep,
it's like, I'll fucking kill you first off. And second off, I'm vigilant. I'm
yeah,
vigilant. So
yeah. It's
I don't know.
important, man.
Yeah.
Kids are innocent, and you have to protect them. I mean, they're the future. Like,
It's the only
yeah,
thing that could change me, Bran. It's the only
yeah,
thing. That's why I said before, I really admire you folks out here who are able to get a clue without having had to become a parent, because I stayed a fucking ne'er-do-well kind of dickhead from the age of 17 until 37. That's like, fuck, man. I stayed 21 till I was 37, I tell people. And
yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah,
can get it together and realize some things about your endogenous levels of selfishness and how that's really not what's up in a good full life, you've accomplished something. So that's kind of cool, man. I feel like you're one of those cats that might have stumbled on that by yourself at a very early age.
mm. Well, dude, yeah, just like growing up, like, you see as a kid, like I saw what I, just like with anything in life, like nothing is perfect, but I saw certain things that I liked. Like it's just like with, parenting or anything like that. Like, I'm grateful for my parents for certain things. Obviously no parent is perfect. And so you kind of just have to you know, uh like chew on the meat, spit out the bone type of deal. And anyways, I'm a firm believer, even though I've learned a lot of things and had to do a lot of things like on my own and make a lot of fuck ups myself. I've also had the, thankfully, like the foresight to be able to learn from, whether it was a friend or a brother or my parents' experiences, be able to kind of see and know what they went through with whatever the thing was, and then be able to learn from that without having to learn every single lesson by myself. And that's something that I'm grateful for.
Yeah. Well, recognizing it and being grateful for it. A lot of people look a gift horse into the mouth and then will strut around the terra as if they're entitled. So to be able to draw yourself back from it, see the forest for the trees, say, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing, man. Really beautiful thing. In fact, so beautiful that I think Balliet Brand has earned the Thothschild flame emoji. That's hot shit, brother. We love you
I
here
love
at
it, dude.
Mind Spray. Um,
I like it.
you, my friend, moving on. I have found you to be a educated, responsible gun owner, which makes me, in my mind, think like that's a guy I want in my militia. But Brand, can you talk to us about that at all? While I show you my latest family purchase, I'm really proud of this. I don't know if you've heard of the bug assault, but is the
I've
gun that
seen
you
this,
can
yeah,
shoot a common housefly with.
with salt, right?
Salt. And this is number 3. So 1
Nice.
and 2, we're pretty big tits, but here we have number 3, and this thing it works, guys. Everybody, I got to tell you, if you got a housefly problem, and it shreds mosquitoes pretty effectively too. This bug assault, you know, it's it's already ready to go. So you just kind of put your, that's, as you can see, like, what am I doing? Jackass, putting expensive pink Himalayan sea
Right,
salt.
right, right.
What an idiot. Like, I'm supposed to get some Morton's for 79 cents.
Yeah, table salt.
All I had. It's all I had. What an idiot, you know.
At least you
But
got quality salt. Most people don't.
yeah, well, I stock up. Like, I buy, because I got 4 kids, whenever the
Yeah.
opportunity presents itself, I try to save, you know, by buying in bulk. So I'll just get stupid. Plus, I'm one of the people that just thinks collapse is coming. So we better have like lots of shit in reserve.
Yeah.
But, this is interesting, Bran. I thought you might appreciate this. I was wondering if maybe you would agree that maybe they should start putting this on
Yeah.
on regular guns, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, you ask like, where does the affinity come from and things like that. And yeah, you know, I don't know. I've always liked, same thing. I mean, even being like the youngest of, you know, having 3 older brothers and stuff, I've always wanted to be and have been self-reliant and, you know, just, you know, collecting things, even though I didn't need them, but, you know, it was just being prepared and things like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, especially after turning 21 and, you know, I like the idea of self-protection and personal defense and I like the amendments and, you know, I'll tell you what, I had a super scary experience where I kind of had like a sixth sense and intuition type deal where actually one of the, you know, the brothers at the time had left the downstairs sliding door unlocked and it was like cracked. And there was someone upstairs in my parents' bedroom. And like, I kind of just like knew we were like in the kitchen at the time, which was like the 2nd floor. And I was like, yo, you know, somehow I kind of just know, you know, this is kind of what's happening. And, you know, nothing was more vulnerable and scary than like us literally like sprinting down to the garage. I picked up my dog Rocky and I told the brothers like, hey, you know, like there's someone up here, like we need to fucking book it to the garage. And nothing was more scary than, you know, hearing someone that was uninvited to my room, my parents' room.
How old were you? How old were you?
Fuck, dude. Like 13, 14. And it was super scary because like, you know, obviously, you know, the gun is like the ultimate equalizer. But you know, we literally, you know, cause we played sports and stuff like that, but we had like,
I wouldn't want to break into your house.
Yeah, I know. luckily, you know, stuff is different now. But anyways, you know, it just comes from, you know, hey, like why does someone have a hammer? I mean, a hammer can be, you know, multifaceted and things like that. And I've always just seen things like that as tools and also just fun hobbies. Like growing up, we didn't my, you know, parents didn't have a whole bunch of excess money for us to like the excess money that they kind of had for like side things were sports. You know, it wasn't necessarily like, oh, hey, we're going to go snowboarding or, oh, hey, we're going to go, you know, to do things like this. So shooting and, you know, just becoming accurate and things like that was always fun. I mean, as a kid, having BB guns and airsoft guns.
Oh, God.
And,
did you have those pneumatic 10 pumps and everybody would cheat? Do you remember that?
I'm trying.
If you had the single pumps,
I know the
nothing you could do, but with the 10 pumps they had back in the 70s and 80s, we would play a game called, you know, shoot your little brother with the BB gun. Now the rule was you could only pump it once, but invariably somebody would get pissed off. And when somebody got pissed off, they'd cheat. They'd go behind the bush, you know, the 𝕖𝕝ℎ𝕐𝕝 bush, and they'd give it 2 pumps. And then he'd hurt the other kid. The other kid get pissed off and say, fuck this. He'd go 1, 2, 3 pumps. Next thing you know, blood's being drawn. And
yeah, I know what you mean, dude. No, I remember one time I had kind of like a very scary experience where same thing. It's just with one of those pump BB guns. But this is where I learned like just how important safety is and just being precautionary and also that ricochets can happen. But, you know, same thing had pumped, you know, the BB gun and, you know, sometimes I'll shoot lefty with rifles and stuff. But so went to go shoot the tree and literally it hits the tree and I hear it kind of come back and hit like this plank or whatever it was right next to me. And I just remember thinking, holy shit, that was so close to my eye. And then I learned, you know, obviously, you know, thankfully I didn't get my eye like shot out or anything like that. So,
Right,
you know, you
right.
learn to use protection and the, you know,
Oh,
ricochet and backstops and stuff.
yeah.
But
I have a story,
anyways,
and I actually have a piece of proof that I think is so interesting that I want to show it to you guys. I'll tell you what, do have a couple other things to cover, but maybe not so much the personal questions. I want to thank you, brother, for the ones that you did share a little bit of your life and your life story with us. And I'm going to bring the old Michael Lung, aka
cool.
Finn Bear, in here.
Cool. I'll stay for like another 5, and then I'm gonna go hang out with the girls.
Okay, I'm gonna go fetch this thing, and you and Mr. Finn can have a wrap.
Hey,
Finn
man.
What's up,
Bear,
Finn Bear? Nice to
Hey.
see you, man. It's been a little minute since we.
you
shared.
are a bossy
Yeah.
motherfucker. When did I hire you as producer of Mind Spray?
How so? Have
He's like, I am in the green room. I will be coming into the stream now. You better watch it. I got the bug assault, man.
Oh yeah, that was, I was just checking it out, man. That's freaking awesome.
Dude, those
Well,
are
you
cool.
know, there's some
we don't have a lot of-
somewhere who's really disturbed by me and my kids shooting houseflies.
Yeah, yeah. That's weird. I mean, that's a life skill
Right back.
everybody needs to have.
Yeah, I agree. They carry disease, man. I'll be right back, Bran.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's easy over
Totally.
here with the winter because half of the time it's so cold that we don't have like a lot of bugs flying around. But that also
that's
does it. So like all the creepy crawly critters disgust me because
Yeah.
we don't have. So
Don't
I was
see
in
'em.
those. So like it's almost 20 years ago. I was in Australia for a couple of months, and Jesus Christ, they have disgusting critters over there. Oh
Oh,
my
dude,
Lord.
I've only heard stories.
Oh motherfucker! I was I was helping I was helping this old Finnish dude who he moved there in the 50s with his family. Back then, they paid certain people money to move over. So over here,
Sure,
like,
sure.
so if you moved over to Australia, they paid your like ship fare and stuff like that.
Yep.
So they moved over, and he was like a descendant of those people, and he still spoke a bit of Finnish. Like they spoke Finnish at the house, and it was a funny accent I've never heard anywhere else, which is understandable if you isolate yourself to the other side of the world. Of course, your language is gonna change
Sound
a bit.
different.
Yeah. So I was staying at his farm. He had what over here would count like a huge farm. He would be like the top 10 biggest farms in the country, I think. But over there, he was like, yeah, well, it's like, I have a big backyard. He was like almost embarrassed about the size of it. Like, you can drive over it in half a day or something. He explained the size of it, like ride around
dude.
it with a motorbike or something. So I was helping him do some firewood. He had cut off some, I don't know, they were like gum trees or eucalyptus or something. Anyways, he already had chopped them up, and they were laying on the ground. It was a huge pile, and it was already sort of beginning to rot. I don't know how quickly that happens over there, but you can see that it's falling apart when you start throwing. So I was throwing like
Totally.
these cut logs onto a trailer, and I pick up this log from the pile. I pick it up, and this fucking millipede, like seriously, we're talking like 6.3 inches in diameter. Fucking
Red Bull King.
let me show like this fucking tall, like it was
Jeez.
going around my fucking arm, like
Oh, man.
fucking Jesus Christ. So I stomped that fucker, and I go to the guy, and I tell him that I had an encounter with one of those things. That is it poisonous? And he's like, nah, I don't think it's that poisonous. Like you probably wouldn't have died, but if it would have bitten your hand or your arm, it would have swollen up, so it would have
Yeah.
looked like your leg. So
Damn.
would
Hey
have
boys, I'm going
been
to show
not
this
fun.
this really hard to understand, or even maybe come up with a theory to conceptualize radical shooting occurrence. This little thing I have here, it's a can of a cider, which, by the way, had so much sulfates in it that I drank one time, and I think I had the worst hangover I ever had my entire fucking life. I prayed for death. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend drinking the shitty brand of cider that I'm about to
Yeah,
show you.
some of them are absolutely disgusting, like just essences and carbonated sugar water.
Oh, this has some kind
yeah,
of
a lot of
sulfates
sugar.
or sulfates in it or something.
Hey,
but
hey, Bran, I'm getting a business idea from while he's sorting his shit out there. Like, check this
Totally.
out. If
got it.
if you if you have already like these semi-automatic assault rifles, what about like personal protection mines and stuff for flies? Like, I'm thinking like if you have, say you have a cake or something on the table and you want to protect it from vermin, you put these claymores that have table salt around the cake.
And that, if
with
it's around
motion
infected,
detectors
you
or
want
something.
sugar, right? You want sugar in that case. Sugar landmine.
Well, whichever. I'm pretty sure they're quite similar in their effects, but that would be freaking awesome.
Dude,
well,
that's
you
hilarious.
might want to have a good legal
Kid go
team.
in and try to put their finger on the cake and get freaking
Fucked up.
mind
Okay,
splattered.
so
Spice trap.
this is this shit cider that physically hurt me. Okay, now here we have the can. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell. This is my son and I are shooting was this a deuce or a 380? I think this was my Smith & Wesson. I told you about this little biscuit before, Brand. It's a Smith & Wesson M&P
Oh, yeah.
2.0
Yeah, you did.
380.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally fits. If I wear like contractors, carpenter, Carhartt pants, it literally fits down in the knee pocket.
Oh,
And
nice.
I forget it's there. And this could kill somebody, this weapon. So I'm teaching my boy how to shoot it. Now, this, I don't know if you guys could see this, but there's
That's
a
the-
hole.
That's
Mhm.
the exit hole.
Yep,
And it looks like an exit hole, but this thing was full and it could have been highly, high pressure. It was rock hard when it was shot.
Sure.
Now, here's the thing. Bran, help me fucking understand. And if so, are you telling me that it went in and
It came
out of the same fucking hole, dude? This
What
blew me the
could
fuck
have-
away, dude. I stared at it for hours.
Do you think it could have turned like? Do you think
Oh,
the
it did.
bullet
That's
could
what
have
had to have
turned-
happened.
Turned
The
sideways
bullet had to have
mid-flight?
gone like that and came
Yeah.
out the fucking hole.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bran?
How accurate is it? Like in general?
What, the weapon itself, you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't hit the side of a barn from more than maybe, Jesus, 5 yards, 7 yards. You
Yeah,
ain't
okay.
hitting shit. It's
That
got fixed sights, and
that
the barrel
explains
on
it.
it. The barrel on it is yay long. So that
Yeah.
no accuracy whatsoever. This was probably from, I want to say 15 or 12 feet. So we had been missing. All we'd been doing all afternoon was missing our target. This one, as you could see, was a kill shot for a can, but I just cannot wrap my head around this.
Yeah, it sounds like
entry and exit.
that pistol sounds like it's more suitable for the double tap into the back of the head type of a situation.
Well, it's actually really good for if you're physically getting down with somebody close
Yeah.
quarters and you just put it in
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
belly and say,
Like
"Get
if
out of my
you're-
house."
If you're wrestling and you shoot somebody's cock off, it's perfect for that. but-
Oh, and Finn, you would think of that. Hey, Bran, what do
I
you
would.
think? Are you buying my theory? Are you buying the
Don't
theory?
judge me, man.
Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting, right? How you know, the physics of a bullet or the surface that you're hitting and all of that. Yeah. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it is, you know, you can practice all you want and things like that, or get a unique shot and
Right.
you know, there's always anomalies or
I just had
you
to
know,
show
yeah,
you. It
the
blew
liquid
me
itself
away,
kind of
dude.
I did a lot of archery when I was a teen,
Yeah.
and
Oh, cool.
it was always special when you got like the perfect hit 2 times, and you
Oh yeah,
you
split it.
yeah, you shoot your arrow in the other arrow. It gets completely fucked up because like carbon fiber arrows, they explode. Like those
Whoa.
aluminum arrows are much more fun to shoot into because that really spreads into like one of those cartoony type of things where it coils up into like what looks almost like a flower, and the other arrow is completely stuck lodged in there. But if it's a carbon fiber arrow and you shoot into it, you get like these long stringy things, and if you try to touch it, man, they're everywhere. It takes forever
Splinter.
for them to grow out.
Yeah, I did that in a game of cricket playing darts one time,
Yeah,
which is
big
something my
mistake.
dad and his friends did in the early mid 70s. One of the guys famously, you know, hit bullseye and then went straight into the back of the
Yeah,
preceding dart, you know, right in the end. This is when we were
That's
back
cool.
using wood darts. And then
Yeah,
at the age of about 35, I literally myself duplicated the effort in a competitive game and almost fainted. You know, it was like
Yeah.
wow.
accidental.
That's
Deja vu
like
type deal.
that's like if you hit a royal flush in a poker tournament, you know you're gonna
Yeah,
lose.
I did that once. I did that in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
Didn't even know I had it.
Yeah, the rest of the tournament is a complete downhill from there. So you're almost certain to lose if you hit a royal flush in your first day.
Children of the grave. That shit
True.
cider instantly dissolves your bowl. Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's the good one,
Gentlemen, I know Brand has to take off real quick. I forgot last night. Guys, you're a fucking male. You gotta swallow your fucking pride so hard. But I am trying to be a content creator, and I do have a much, much larger, cooler vision that I think wouldn't only pump our bags, but really be kind of fucking entertaining for all of Hexco. Yeah, you guys
You're
know
just
that I have
saying
the
it
multiple
because
jobs, and you guys know that I have the multiple children, and I also, you know, do a little volunteer work. So I'm going to share a wallet address. I do not expect anybody to give to this, but I'm told that I should probably dangle it out there and, you know, just see if we get any bites. So
and put it in the description too for post video.
Oh, okay.
You know, like you mentioned, there's always going to be people that don't. I mean, you know, that don't see it live, and
we only have 6 or 7 people right now. So yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it was better than when I first started. I remember there being like 2 or 3 people. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been one of them often.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Yeah. So, and also you want to use your hashtags in the description.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. Like I admit freely, there's not only a learning curve, but there's also the thing where it's like, what do I have time to get to?
Yeah.
I mean, it was quite literally considered by me that I would just never bother doing this because I did not think that even if I could do it like I have so far, I would never have the time to promote it, produce it, and do all the little bells and whistles, like, for example, tagging up. So, and it may yet still go that way. It remains.
But hey, check this out. StreamYard has a great function because if you start the stream next time without setting up a new one, you hop onto the old studio and start the stream from there. Everything you wrote up stays on StreamYard, so it will have all the same write-ups already, so you don't have to do it again. You just like do it once, and
that is a definite time saver.
Yeah,
thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
It's a good one, man. Well, BALLIET BRAN, you know, on a night when I know you're spending quality time with your lady, I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making some time for the Mind Spray program.
Yeah, dude, keep it up, man. It's and like closing remarks is like you'd mentioned on last night's stream that sometimes life does get in the way and things like that, but you still made kind of like a goal to yourself that, hey, one of these days this week you're gonna get it done, and you did it last night, and you're doing it tonight too. And yeah, I mean, everyone's got a certain schedule and things like that, and it's cool that you're doing it, because you'll kind of, I've always learned the most about myself when I put myself in that situation, an uncomfortable situation, and then you kind of adapt and overcome, and everyone kind of reacts a little bit differently. Some people fully embrace it. Some people realize, oh, okay, I can make a change here or there that might work better for next time. So keep it up, man. And then
I told the story last
really
night.
awesome.
That's I was just so determined that I was literally going to be like the general who burned the ships, the invasion ships on the shore, so that there would be no escape route. Before you leave, that's good advice, by the way, Bran. And before you leave, I think it probably would behoove you to say hello to the newest member, right, of the Thothschild channel team. Finn got to delight in him last night. This is Reg. Okay, he's a good friend of mine. I hope you guys can show him some respect.
His glasses are a bit off. If
I
you can
know.
fix
I
that.
know, Finn. I wear glasses too, Finn.
Yeah.
Well, we just
as do I. That's why it was so annoying
Look at
to
him.
me.
He's staring at the camera, dude. He's absolutely.
I'm sorry, Reggie. I'm sorry.
So the joke is, Bran, he's one of my skits, and the premise of the skit is, I am the world's worst ventriloquist. So let's give him an example real quick. Hey, hi, how are you doing? I'm pretty good. How are you doing? Well, we're just up here on the channel, and this is actually our second show. Can you believe it? Fuck no, I can't. It's pretty crazy. Who's them dumb motherfuckers on the screen with you? Don't call them dumb motherfuckers. That's so rude. This guy fucking Brandon, he just took fucking time out of his night to help promote this show. Well, fuck that cracker ass cocksucker. I don't give a fuck what he says. Oh my God, why would you? Oh, I'm sick to my stomach. You're embarrassing
Reggie,
me.
you're setting off my dog, Reggie. Try to behave, please.
You know what? You're the reason there's never any peanut butter left in your house. That's it. What is in your mind, man? Nothing. My skull's empty. You and I got something in common, brother. So what are we going to do? Are we going to make some skits? Oh, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that. Are we going to be funny? No. All right. Well,
exactly.
I shall persist. And see, this serves many functions, Bran, because now it not only contributes to the legend that Thothschild is half insane, right? Which gets me off the hook. But I can actually say anything I want to about anybody because it's not me saying it. It's Reg. Fucking right. Are you?
I love it, dude. Everyone's a little half crazy.
Are you staked? Yep. How long are you staked for? 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. What? Yeah. How is that even possible? He makes a special one for the little people. Richard Hart is a loving soul. So wait, you have a 55,000 day stake? Yeah, motherfucker, did I stutter? All right, that's enough.
Hey, I love it, man. It's a good addition to the other ones. Good seeing you, Finn Barrett. We'll have to catch up a little bit more next time, dude. It's been a minute since I've been on stream with you. I think maybe we've only streamed like one other time and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to remember when that was.
Dude, honestly, I don't. Maybe
might have
I'm
been
just
like a DS
streaming it.
DS stream, perhaps.
Probably, dude.
I think a DS.
Probably
maybe.
way back in the day.
Yeah, one of those.
Hey guys, look at Children of the Grave. What the fuck? I'm leaving now. He says those shits freak me the fuck out.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Hey, I'll let y'all finish it.
All
Thank
right.
you, Thoughts, for having me on, dude. And yeah, dude, keep it up,
Yeah.
man. We'll have to make another collaboration happen. And
Most
yeah, dude,
certainly.
keep
And
up the good work, man.
Hey,
and you got yourself a
can you hold
ticket
the
to
door
the
open,
first panel
Balliet?
show.
I'm
No.
gonna join you on your
Finn,
way out.
Okay.
Bran, you got yourself a ticket to the first panel show. So thanks again for appearing on, I guess, what we're going to call the first official episode of Thothschilds. Mind spray. Peace out, brother.
Out.
Bam. Awesome. That was cool. You guys are both pretty rocking. Now, where did you go, Finn, on the stream? Oh, dear. Wait, Finn fucking took off too? Okay. There he is. There he is.
Hey, I thought you quit the stream already.
Oh, no. I was just fucking around. I was actually, I don't know how many we have watching. 7, 6. Nat Reboot is here again. How you
he's
doing,
my-
Nat? Good to see you. Sorry I didn't understand you
That's
last
my
night.
brother, man.
Okay. In that case, he's got all the love, man.
Yeah. He's a bit of a freak, so don't worry about him.
Oh, that's okay. We all are. We'll have that in common then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I am,
Hey, wrap
working
it
on-
up. I got some stuff I wanna talk with you in the green room. So just click end stream, but don't leave the studio. We can stay here like just you and me for a while.
Once again, producer, when I'm ready, I will.
Hey, I'm gonna just turn off my shit from over here, and
Okay.
and
By all
I'm not gonna bother you. So you can just do your own stuff. You can like.
I might have a monologue. I got to look at my notes. I might have a
Minimize me to the background. I don't want to cram your style, man. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's fine. Who is that in your little image there? He's kind of.
That's my face implanted on some cow leather hat wearing shit stepper. I don't know who he is. Yeah.
He's pretty cute.
Yeah, you can just I'm gonna mute myself and I'll leave it open
Okay.
so that once you're out of the stream, if you have a few minutes, there's one thing I wanna talk with you about.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, well done. Thanks again, Finn, and I'll see you in the green room in a couple minutes. Okay. So, Hexico, what have we learned? You know what we've kind of verified something, that we pretty much already knew. This brand, Balliet Brand, is just a fucking genuine cat. He's a giving, caring soul, who also has the principles that he won't take any shit, not towards his family, that cadre of fucking brothers he has over there, which basically constitutes its own battalion. The man's got a woman he loves with. He's got a family. He's got a tribe. He's got a channel. This is definitely a guy I consider to be an ally, and I would like to thank him, Balliet Brand, not only for his friendship and help giving good advice to me, but he's definitely one of those faces that I'm like super comfortable with being out in front in Hexico. Sometimes I question even fearless leader being the shoulder that we're leading with. Myself, no question. Do not put me out in front of Hexico. We'll have fucking 17 users by the time it's all said and done. But I'm an excellent side dish. I really am. You guys are so lucky that I'm here with you. I mean, fucking dude, it's like the whole package. That's Thothschild. I'll tell you what. So this was fucking awesome. The one, I guess I got to show him the bug assault gun. I got to make the new one because, the numbers are different. But when we were talking earlier about, and I'll make this into a graphic and screen share it so it's more professional. I'm doing it Daniel List, dark journalist style. But, guys, that sliver right there is the global population that's in cryptocurrency as of
the turn of the year. I'm sure it's gone up a little bit. It's probably gone up a little bit because of not actual skilled asset holders, educated asset holders, but because these new participants are droves and droves of mainstream, right? NFT buyers. What's Fearless Leader say about loosely associated JPEGs, right? I mean, if you're interested, you know, some of you probably fucking hate that I'm doing this way, holding an analog piece of paper, and that's great, you know, suck on my balls for all I care. But I did want to show you guys, okay? It is at 1.36% globally that we're in crypto on December like 30, what was it? 31st then of 2021. You see that? That's a little nutty. That's not the global number, guys. That's of the 1.36%. Room for growth? Much? Yeah. I did want to say something else real quick. 1S, I am just absolutely captivated by the amount of knowledge that you have. And I know that your ego is so non-existent, you know, not that you need ego to teach, but I'm humbly requesting that you roll it around your brain that perhaps you wouldn't so much teach, but maybe just share, you know. We never feel qualified. I certainly don't like really feel qualified to talk about much of anything, I suppose. I mean, truly, I don't. You know, I guess we all in the academic emphasis society, we all pretty much think like I would have to be a doctor of puppetry in order to even pick up that fucking ugly thing. So what I'm getting at is like, you know, we all get over it. Now, I'm not just talking to 1S here. This is for everybody, guys. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can conquer the demons, the difficulties, the limited resources, the non-existent time, if Thothschild can do all of these fucking things, then I'm sorry, there's not too many excuses left. So if you are a sculptor, go craft something. If you're a carpenter, go build something. If you're a mailman, deliver that fucking mail with the vim and vigor of a fucking Greek god tomorrow. Okay. If you're a seamstress, sew some shit. If you are a fucking disco dancer, fucking rock out with your cock out and go get AIDS. Just do the shit. And if you're a Hexican, a committed fucking Hexican, as well as Pulse Chaniac, I would behoove you to get up, get out, and get something. Help us, all right? Help us, help you, help yourselves, help Fearless Leader, help the effort, help the community. The code needs you and me about as much as gravity needs you and me. But every other element in the dynamic of the ecosystem, there's only one missing element, right? And that's you. And your, you could say whatever you like. I'm just going to say the easy word, the German good. Your God-given talents, motherfucker. Get up, get out, get something. And I do want to thank everyone, not only those of you who participated in the chat, not only those of you who are suicidal enough to hop on stream with me, everybody who watched live stream, but you know, also it has to be said, I'm going to get the highest percentage of participants and viewers in the stream, the show rather, afters. So, you know, to those of you who I will predict, you know, how long from now will be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views eventually once we really get the shit rocking. I want to thank you very much for checking us out, checking me out, and sticking with it. So I will try to distill down a steady time. You know, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to get a steady time of the week, steady ass day. And we'll, then have a couple days in advance to properly promote the thing, or warn people, depending on your view. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to wrap with my man. Oh shit. No, come on, bro. I'm going to wrap with my man, the Fin Bear, but real quick, I'm going to leave you guys with one little thing because it's so late in the thing. I got to find out some particulars. But yeah, here we go. Let's do that. Oh. Ooh. That's the theme music. That's the theme music right there. All right. Thothschild. Mind Spray. Episode 1. I guess technically episode B. But yeah, we're going to call this one. Last one was a test. I'll see you guys next time, all right? Y'all be good. And remember, the cake is all layerish, but the player is all Himalaya-ish. See you next time, guys. Bye.